It was the sort of word problem Betty loved. 40-some passengers, dressed in 50s fashions, plus 5 nights, 2 casinos, 900 miles equals what? Fun squared by 1,000,000, unless one calculated in the chance for a murder or two. Buffet Betty always did. Betty Chance grabbed onto the steel railing behind the tour bus driver and pulled herself to a standing position. The shimmering waters of the Gulf of Mexico were easily visible on her right. Beach Boulevard, a divided 4-lane highway, ran parallel to the vast, white, sandy beaches. A tall, white lighthouse welcomed visitors to Biloxi, Mississippi. On the Meridian Strip, cabbage palms, some as high as 60 feet, reached into the sky. On the left side of the asphalt were stately pastel homes, convenience stores, tourist shops, luxury low-rise condos, and mega casino resorts and hotels. Only a few signs of Hurricane Katrina's deadly 2005 impact on the city of Biloxi remained. Ahead, a neon billboard brightly announced the tour's final destination, the South Wind Resort and Casino. Betty leaned forward and whispered to the driver in her best faux Southern accent, "I do declare, Miss Tillie, you did a mighty fine job of driving this Yankee mobile to the motherland." Tillie responded in kind. "Why, thank you, Miss Betty. Your words are sweeter than cold honey on a hog facing Judgment Day." The two Chicagoans practiced their Southern accents for weeks, one of the joys of working together. Betty Chance and Tillie McFinn excelled in both their careers and the art of silliness. Early in their working relationship, the duo decided it would be fun to speak to each other in the dialect of the geographic region they were visiting. Northern Minnesota had been a breeze to do once they watched the movie Fargo. Thanks to reruns of The Sopranos, New Jersey speak was a snap. The Gulf Coast dialect turned out to be harder than most. The Mississippi sound combined a slow drawl dotted with French accents and peppered with a dozen other transplanted cultures, including the Caribbean. The two traveled once before to the Gulf Coast, and this time they wanted their mimicking skills to be perfect. For weeks, they listened to B.B. King sing the blues, downloaded the movie Gone with the Wind, and cried as they watched Steel Magnolias. Why I Live at the Post Office by Eudora Welty was read so many times by Tillie she nearly memorized it. The trip odometer clicked to 892, the exact distance between Take a Chance Tours Southside Chicago's headquarters and Biloxi. The trip had taken 2 days on the road, with a one-night layover in Tunica. It would be 3 days before they headed home. The 7-day, 5-night Girly Girls tour was their longest junket of the year. Tillie drove by a neon billboard flashing the words, "Bradford and the Beekeepers, Saturday night at 8. Within a millisecond, the words morphed into a brightly lit LED image of the legendary crooner himself. Bradford was the reason Betty came up with the idea for the Girly Girls tour. In Southside Chicago, the man was a legend. He was more than a local boy made good. Bradford had risen from crooning ditties in a dive on Pulaski Avenue to a world-class entertainer rivaling Tom Jones and Wayne Newton.